Okay, so this is the Draeger Evita XL, another very user-friendly ventilator from Draeger. And what we're going to do now is just do a short self-test, so an SST. So make sure the device is functioning properly and a leak test on the circuit. Things you're going to need for this are an expiratory valve assembly, a flow sensor, test lung, and something to plug the circuit with. Okay, so first off, let's get the expiratory valve and flow sensor assembled down into the expiratory inlet. So here's the inspiratory, this will be the expiratory. So you can see I popped in the flow sensor. I'm going to take my expiratory cartridge, or the assembly now, and insert that in. You're going to then push your flow sensor back over. It's on a slide. There's a little catch here for the expiratory, so just make sure it's snug. Then you can close up that door, and that's assembled for the Draeger XL, or Evita XL, inspiratory, expiratory. If we come around to the back here, you'll find your power switch. Hook that up. You'll hear an audible alarm. It's going to do a bit of a short self-test, or machine test. We're doing the self-test. I've already got this plugged into 50 psi O2 air and to AC power. What we could do while we're waiting is hook up our circuit. So I don't have a humidifier attached to this ventilator, so we're just going to use this as a standby, or we'll use it with an HME. But we'll kind of keep it consistent: blue for inspiratory, white for expiratory. You'll notice this screen looks a lot like the V500 or the VN500 if you've seen those machines. So first thing we're going to do is just going to go into standby. You're going to select that. We can reset our alarms so it doesn't bug us. And on the side menu or side tab here, we're going to go down to check. Alright, so it shows you the last device checks and how they were, if there's any problems with them. What we're going to do is we're going to go over here to device check. And what we want to see is we're going to check exhalation valve, flow sensor, humidification, all of these different functionalities of the different sensors. What we want to see are these check marks beside each of those tests. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and hit check. And up at the top you'll see a prompt that says checked and correct position of the exhalation valve. Well, we've already done that, we've assembled it. You'll notice over on the right side there's a counter, so it kind of times out if you wait too long or if you get called away to another patient to do something. So we've checked this, so we're going to go ahead and hit yes. What it's going to do now is it says connect test lung to the Y piece and confirm when you've done that with yes. Alright, so you can see we've connected our test lung, and we're going to come back now and simply select yes. Next prompt says connect the air supply. So let's make sure everything's connected. My mistake, I thought I had everything connected. It's all tight, plugged in. Okay, so now we're going to be doing the exhalation valve and the flow sensor. It's asking me to check the correct position of the flow sensor. I know that's correct because we just installed it with the assembly, so I'm going to go ahead and say yes. If you wanted to just double check, just open up that door, make sure it's pushed all the way over to the right so it's touching your expiratory assembly, so that when the expiratory flow goes through it can actually sense it. Humidification, well, I don't have a Fisher-Paykel MR850 or any other type of humidifier, active humidifier, heated humidifier put on this machine yet, so we're just going to use an HME. So patient hoses are connected correctly. I believe they are, yes. Connect test lung to the Y piece, we've already done that. Now it's going to go through the function test of the device to make sure that it's safe to use for our patient. There's no problems with the switchovers or any of the valves and internal pressure systems. Connect the air supply and disconnect the oxygen. So here's a little manual labor for you now. You come up here, unscrew your 50 psi DISS-02. It should sense that, and just switch over to an active test. It's doing its thing here. Connect oxygen supply and disconnect air. Okay, so this is checking that switchover, the air and O2 switchover. Make sure the internal blenders are working and that there's no leak in the internal high pressure system. So I've disconnected the air. Now connect both air and oxygen supply. Okay. I believe that's the last of the manual labor for this check. Machine's going ahead without me. It's saying here, audible alarm sound, check, confirm with yes. So we're actually checking our backup alarm. Obviously we hear it. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, we hear that. It's looking at the calibration of the flow sensor now. And finally the calibration of the oxygen sensor. This one can take a minute or two, so I'm going to stop the video and then just take a picture of the end screen if everything checks out. Okay, so you can see we've passed. There's check marks on all of our tests that we've run on our device check. What we'll do next is we're going to check the circuit. So we're going to go over here to the airtight check and make sure there's no leak in the circuit. So click that. Same idea. This is going to go through a number of different tests. We're going to start by hitting check. Look up at our prompt. It says seal the Y piece and confirm with yes. So I've just stuck a plug into our circuit. One nice thing about these circuits is when you open up the package, usually they come with a blue cap. Keep that blue cap because it'll help you with these tests so that you can free up your hands by keeping that cap on. So now I'm going to just go ahead and hit yes. It's sealed. Check is now active. You're going to hear the ventilator cycle on and off and pressurize the circuit. We're looking for a leak that's under 300 mils per minute, as you can see here. That's the acceptable range. So if there is a leak, often you can troubleshoot it. Look for these caps to be open or half closed. Make sure your fittings are all tight on your inspiratory and expiratory. There's another cap on the back here on this circuit. That would be for your chamber if you were using one. And now it's asking us keep Y piece open and confirm with yes. So I'm just going to pop out my cap, hit yes. And now it's going through a compliance, inspiratory and expiratory resistance check. And that's it.